Okay, so I just simply hit new and project, and I hit connect to my total station. When I go into layout mode, there's nothing in here yet. There's no points whatsoever. So over here on the right, we're going to immediately go into select mode. Right now I'm in reflectorless because I don't have a prism set up. You'll be in prism and your rod height. Look at the side of your rod and put your rod right to 5 foot so that the total station's tracking an even 5 foot on that. Right here you're going to go to select mode and we're going to go to occupy point. We don't have any points in our model, so we're just going to click here and say new. We're going to call this point number 1, and this is going to actually be CP control point. And store point. So now we have a point in our drawing, and then we're going to select here to 0. We're going to set a direction. We're just going to basically make another mark on the ground. I like to tell people to go even angles, 0, 90, 180, or 270. So we're going to use 0 for now, and then it sets here, and we're just going to simply hit measure. When we hit measure, this will not have a distance it can check, so we're just going to say accept, and then it's going to say, do you want to store the backside point? Just say yes. And the main reason why you want to do that is because you're going to want to be able to come back to that point again later on. So store point, and then after that you're immediately going to go here to measure and store, and you're going to select benchmark. And after selecting benchmark, it's just asking for an elevation. So if you stay on your control point number 2, we can just treat that as benchmark elevation 0 unless you have one on site. I would assume that you probably don't have one on site, so just wherever you put your X for your control point, go ahead and just leave your prism pole on it. Again, you'll be an MPR 122 prism, and your height on the side of your rod will read 5 foot. Then level up the rod and simply take another measurement on that same point. That's what I would do. So then it's going to say, what is the elevation, which is right here. That elevation is 0 because we're just going to use that as a permanent, like a reference essentially, just so we can check, because we only care about distance to distance and also elevation difference from one point to the next to cover the access slopes and stuff. So set elevation and update with this new elevation. The answer is yes. So now anything that you shoot, you are now carrying an elevation. So because you put your rod to the right height and then you shot your benchmark, now no matter what you shoot, so if I take a measurement here, it's going to read my elevation as 0, which is right here. So anywhere I move it from then on, I can now take this, rotate it, and shoot an object, which I lowered it from where the benchmark was, so I'm going to be reading a minus number, which is minus 2 3/8 of an inch. I would then change that to sidewalk, okay? And then simply hit store point. And now it's in the model, and when I look at this point, here's the coordinates for it. So by shooting that one and then shooting another one, which these two are really close to each other, as if you were to be doing this in the field and you're in the measure and store mode again, simply hit measure, and then it wants to store another point. It's another sidewalk point, so we hit store. So now if you need the slope between the two, you can just import it into AutoCAD, or you can come down here and hit measure and simply select 4 to 3. It tells you the horizontal distance. I is where all the information is, right here, a little I. And then it says slope distance. It also says your grade percentage. And then it also says delta height. So you can tell the information, this is all the information you need for getting what you need. So simply hit close and then close here, and now we're back to normal. So we just continue on our way. We would shoot another point. Simply hit measure, and store, and now that one's in our model as well. So 3, 4, 5, we could then select our measure, and we could go elevation from 5 all the way to 3 if we needed to know the difference between the two, and it would say that there's my percentage slope. So yeah, let me know if you have any other questions.